Hello, ladies. Okay, I am going to make sure audio is working because I actually don't have my mic set up today. I got a new camera. Praise the Lord. But now I'm trying to figure out exactly what to do because it's an external camera and all of that good stuff. So because of that, I'm just on a chair. I don't even have my computer in front of me. And so I need to figure out now how to use my external mic. But I want to hop on here just real quick and at least make sure y'all can hear me. So let's give me just 1 second, please. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope y'all are having at least some fall fun so far. Oh my gosh, so audio's great. I might not even need my mic. That's crazy. Or actually it might be this camera. This camera might, because I actually see little speakers there. So maybe, I don't know. My husband picked this camera out, and so he's amazing at this stuff. So he probably knew exactly what I needed and probably got a camera with a mic as well. And I don't realize that. Anyway, so I hope y'all are doing well today. It's actually very different not having my computer right in front of me. I think I like it though. So anyway, we are still going through a brace. We're almost done, you guys. And I'm hoping, I don't know exactly how. Yeah, I actually might be able to finish before we start our Advent study. I did pick out an Advent study finally. Normally, I feel like I'm barely picking it out maybe the week before Advent. So it's good to be ahead of the game. I actually picked it out last month. I ordered it. I've gotten it in. I'm just getting, I haven't announced it yet. I'll probably announce that on Wednesday, but I'm also trying to set up a newsletter or an email sequence with that because, to be quite honest, I don't know how much longer I'll be on social media. It's been in the works. I've been planning on getting off social media just so I can focus on family, home, all of the things. So anyway, with all of that being said, that might be coming before we're even done with Advent. And so I want to basically have the email stuff set up. That way, those of you that are interested in still joining me live for devotionals, for the Advent study, you guys could still join me with that. So anyway, all that to say, I will be putting all of that information out very soon. But I will for sure announce the study on Wednesday. And then hopefully y'all can just be able to sign on for the newsletter. A couple of y'all reached out about volunteering to help with the program that I have been working on for women who choose life. The amazing thing is I announced that, and I had so many of y'all message me about volunteering that I actually got all the volunteers that I need. But I am going to go on ahead and post up the form this week because once things really get going, I probably could use maybe 5 more volunteers. And so I'm going to go on ahead and post that. I kept from posting it because I immediately got all my volunteers that I needed, and I didn't want to have anybody just waiting when I knew I already had all I needed. So, but since I am going to probably be getting off of social media sooner than later, I thought it might be good to go on ahead and have that list, that waiting list, so to speak. So if you are one of the ones that wanted to volunteer, we'll definitely get a waiting list going. So trying to get ready for my departure off of social media. Anyway, so let's start, guys. Something to consider with criticism. It will lead to an opportunity for you to witness Therefore, make up your minds not to prepare your defense ahead of time, for I will give you such words and a wisdom that none of your adversaries will be able to resist or contradict. Luke 21:13 through 15. Criticism is awful. That's usually my first thought when a friend, family member, or even an acquaintance makes it clear they don't like something I've done or said. My pride says, "How dare you?" My heart says, "I want a chance to explain." My soul says, "Jesus, am I off base?" My mind says, "Why do I open myself up like this?" And my feelings say, "Ouch." Sometimes criticism is fair. Maybe I messed up and it would serve me well to reconsider. Other times, criticism is nothing but rotten spew, and boy, does it stink. But if I get stuck in the stink, it serves no good purpose. Might there be another way to look at harsh criticism? Is there a way to get past the hurt to see something about the one criticizing me that will soften my heart toward them? Recently, I stumbled on an article about the armadillo lizard. This fascinating creature has hard and pointy scales that have "Don't mess with me" written all over them. But like all tough creatures, this lizard has a vulnerable place. The armadillo lizard's tough exterior wraps around its back but softens as the underbelly. When threatened, the lizard grabs its tail and displays a prickly, intimidating posture to keep other creatures away. At that point, the rest of the body serves only one purpose: to hide and protect its most vulnerable part. So, what does a strange desert creature have to do with criticism? In an effort to protect my underbelly, I sometimes get all wrapped up in myself and tragically forget the underbelly of the person criticizing, the place where they are vulnerable and might be hiding things protected beneath their harsh words and prickly exterior. This is a place they may never let me see. It's the storage place for their hurts and disappointments. It holds the root cause of their skepticism and the anger that probably has very little to do with me. For the mouth speaks what the heart is full of, Matthew 12:34. And from the overflow of their hurt, they spewed. Remember, behind every harsh critic is usually a broken-hearted person desperate for love. If I forget the other person's vulnerability, I am tempted to start storing up my own hurt, skepticism, anger, and disappointments. If I remember this underbelly, I have a much greater chance to keep it all in perspective. I can let my reaction be a good example to this other person, just as our key verse, Luke 21:13 through 15, reminds us. It will lead to an opportunity for you to witness. Therefore, make up your minds not to prepare your defense ahead of time. For I will give you such words and wisdom that none of your adversaries will be able to resist or contradict. When criticism comes, and it will, I must make up my mind not to worry about defending myself. If I can resist the urge to become prickly and use it as an opportunity to be a witness of the love, grace, and mercy of Jesus, things I desperately need myself. Dear Lord, thank you for this challenge to think about the other person's underbelly before I react to criticism. I know it's a simple step, but it's so hard to live out. Help me put this truth into practice and to walk in the wisdom you have already given me. In Jesus' name, amen. I love that. And um, that is such a needed word, I think, for today, because we're just living in these weird times. Sorry guys, I'm gonna get comfortable here. It's weird to not have a computer or desk right in front of me. It's We're living in just like these weird times where um I mean people's hearts are growing cold, and um it's just a domino effect, right? I mean, and the word says that in these times, are like people's hearts will grow cold, and you're seeing that. And so like as that domino effect is happening, we are going to be meeting people more and more with critical hearts and critical spirits. And um we just have to learn, like, I think the one thing that maybe she didn't talk about, that for me, I feel like is important to remember is like we have to get our acceptance from the Lord. We have to like receive that from Him. So that way, when people are criticizing you or being ugly or negative towards you, or maybe you get a response that's hurtful from somebody that you maybe weren't expecting, um, when you're walking with Christ and receiving everything you need from Him, you're able to like release love and grace and mercy right away because you're getting everything you need from God. And so you're not reacting out of this like necessity to feel needed or wanted or appreciated or even seen or heard. And I think that's like another problem we're living in this world. Take social media, for example, is just this desire to get everything we want, we have to say, everything we want other people to hear, or like we just have this need to be heard. And I don't know, like I do think it's important to have a community, and in that community, those things are happening. We're seeing each other, we're hearing each other, we're loving each other, but that's within a private community. But the internet makes it so easy these days to have a need to be heard and seen. Um, and I think when you can get that perspective, or that, yeah, just get a perspective of, I mean, I have so many friends, many in this Facebook group that do get on social media like I am right now, and they, will spread the word of Jesus. But many of those people they're getting their love from Christ. They're not. I guess what I'm trying to say is there can be good intentions on social media. I'm not trying to say anybody who is um, been given a platform um, to speak truth or to teach people. I mean, a lot of business owners use these tools. I mean, it's just, all I'm saying is like we all have an intention when we're doing that. So what is our intention? Is it that need to be heard, to be seen, to be liked, to be um, have approval, or is there an intent, other than those things? And I think when we're utilizing these amazing tools that we do have, for good intentions, I think we can only do that when our worth is coming from the Lord and nobody else. Otherwise, if I were to get on here and not have one person, which it's happened, I've gotten on here in this group with this devotional, I have gotten on here and nobody's watched. But I still come and do it again because I feel like it's important, and I feel like maybe there might be somebody that needs a good word, and that, because that happens to me. I've been scrolling through social media, and one of my friends, or a mentor, somebody that I adore and admire, um, will be doing a live video or just a post, something that encourages and inspires me. And so I will come back even if the following day nobody watched, or maybe some people watched and nobody liked it or commented. That doesn't bother me because I feel like the Lord has placed something in my heart. He placed this um, devotional in my heart to read in this Facebook group, and that's for a reason. He knew the days that people would listen and would need that encouragement and that inspiration, and so I'm obedient to that because I trust Him. And so with all of that being said, I think, kind of going back to criticism, I don't want to get off on a tangent here. When we're facing criticism, like negative criticism, I mean, there is constructive criticism, but I think we all know who has the space to speak into our life to give us constructive criticism, and that is not everybody. So just FYI, you should also know who you have that space, and that mutual respect to speak self-criticism or speak constructive criticism into their life. Like, please don't be just criticizing everybody, calling it constructive criticism when you don't even have that space or relationship with somebody. Because that's, I think a lot of us think, well, it's just constructive criticism, and it's not. It's not always constructive. I mean, I would probably, there needs to be a statistic on this. I would probably personally say, out of, all the critics in the world, my personal critics, I would say I've probably only gotten maybe about 10% of the criticism I've received is constructive criticism. And that's not because I'm trying to like be egotistical. That's because I have a very short list of people who have that ability to speak constructive criticism, to speak encouragement, like directly to me or something I'm doing or not doing into my life. Because I don't know, I feel like those are my close circles. Those are my people, the people I trust, the people that I know have a very strong relationship with God, the people who pray, and the people that I know they went to God first before they came at me and gave me some constructive criticism. And that I want to encourage you to know who those people are. So that way, when people that are not on that list, that you aren't sure they're necessarily praying before they come to you, people that you don't know, are they dealing with bitterness in their life? Are they dealing with jealousy in their life? Are they going to God before they're criticizing? So have a very short list, and it's going to be the same people who you trust, and you're in a very small inner circle. And I hope you have a very small inner circle. And none of this is to be ugly or to, I don't want any of y'all to have a spirit of like a suspicious spirit. I'm not trying to create that, but it is just true. Like in this world today, especially, we have to be very careful who we're letting into our inner circle. And some things are just sacred, right? Some things not everybody needs access to. I'm very, very, very tight-lipped about my family and things going on here in our home. There's a very, very small percentage of people that know the things that our family, that we're embarking on, that we're, journeying into. And it's because of those like critics, because of those like Jezebel spirits, because of those demonic spirits. I mean, the enemy is out to kill, steal, and destroy. So we have to be careful. We always love, but we have to be careful. And I think that all of that falls into critics and criticism. So we need to be careful and keeping a check within ourselves. Are we being critical? Are we being jealous? Are we being bitter? Are we being unfair? Are we going to God first when we feel like we should speak something into somebody's life? Are we going to Him first and making sure that it's not our ego, our issue? So first of all, like we have to like pay attention to ourselves first. And then when people are criticizing us, we just ask and know those same things. Is this somebody that has that space to speak that into my life? And if it's not, forgive them, bless them, like she was talking about. React, respond, don't react, and do it with love. And, you don't have to take their criticism, but you also don't have to be ugly back or criticize back or be, judgmental towards them. You forgive them immediately and know that your worth comes from Him. And not take it personal, and just, be kind back. And then if it's somebody that keeps criticizing in your life, those are things I would talk to God about, and ask Him, like, how do I handle this? Is it somebody I need to have complete separation from? Because we can separate from people in love. We don't have to be ugly when God gives us a check in our spirit that somebody doesn't need to be in our life at all. I mean, I believe that happens. I mean, because it's happened in my life where he's asked me to step back from relationships. Either it was because it was being hurtful towards me or it was being hurtful towards them. Either I needed to work on something before I could have the privilege of having that person in my life, or vice versa. Like maybe that person is hurting me and my family too much, or maybe there may be a danger spiritually, physically, mentally, whatever. But you can do those things in love. You don't have to fight with them or anything like that. So anyway, lots to say about criticism. I mean, it's an ugly part of relationships. It's an ugly part of the world. It's out there. I would say that like we're probably criticizing somebody either in our mind or words at least daily. I mean, I hope not, but it probably can happen. I know there was a season in my life where I had to recognize I was being critical like every day. And so that it can be a daily issue. Either we're being critical or we're just constantly somebody's being critical to us. And so know who those people are that have that space in your life to speak truth to you, that that are going to pray before they come to you about something. And then just always have that list in your mind so that way when somebody comes and is critical to you, you will know better if it's a criticism you receive or a criticism that you just throw away and say, I forgive this person, I love them, and I'm going to treat them with kindness. But I don't have to receive their criticism. So that's enough. I'm just rambling at this point. I hope you guys have a great, great Monday. My days are all mixed up. It's been so crazy busy. Okay, I'm going to grab my computer here because I will have to. I've got to figure out my setup with how I'm going to work this with my new camera and my computer and my phone. I mean, my microphone and all that stuff. It's too much to think about, you guys. Okay, I have comments here. Somebody says, hi, beautiful. I don't know who it is, though. It says Facebook user. So sometimes StreamYard doesn't show me who it is. So thank you. I will get in the group and see who that is, and I'll be able to respond to you. And that I'm guessing it was the same person said I really needed to hear this today. I mean, it's something I needed to read today, too. And I needed to remind myself that of the short list of people that I have in my life to speak into me, because not everybody has that availability to me to like speak something and me receive it. And so like we have the right to know, or if we're going to receive something that somebody says to us, and just know that the enemy is out to kill, steal, and destroy. And not everybody that's going to give us constructive criticism, not everybody's out to steal, kill, and destroy, but criticism is not good. Like I almost even hate the whole term of constructive criticism. Like for me, it's just called encouragement. Hey, I see that this is happening in your life, or you're doing X, Y, and Z. Let me encourage you in this area. I would rather say encouragement, because I don't know, like I've struggled with the critical spirit before, and I think that it's like such a great area to talk about constructive criticism. I mean, I know it's a thing and I get it. I understand it. I know what we mean by that, but I just feel like it's a slippery slope, and we should just call it encouragement. Like we should like completely do away with constructive criticism and just call it encouragement, because I mean, as a matter of fact, the few people that have that space to do that with me, like they normally will say, I want to encourage you in an area. Like that is like a term I have heard often with that short list of people in my life. It's I want to encourage you in this. I want to speak life into the situation, or whatever. So anyway, it's something I think that we all need that good reminder of, for our critical spirit, and then for when people are critical towards us. Because I mean, criticism can be very, very painful. Like it really can. I would say criticism can destroy relationships. And so it's just something we have to like understand, and we have to really, we can get through criticism if our worth is from God, period. Like our worth has to be with God. I mean, no matter what. Okay, Isabel, yay! I hope you had a good trip, girl. Okay, y'all. I think that's it. I don't see any more comments. I love you guys. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. And y'all will be hearing from me this week on our Advent study. Bye.